This documentary takes a look at the Marina Precinct development in Port Hedland. I will show you the sites in question and the problems associated. But first, the facts. Currently, we have a cabinet-approved project for the spoil bank. Funding sources of $112 million from the state government and $40 million from the town of Port Hedland, our money. The town has initiated another feasibility study into the development of a marina at Cook Point, costing close to $1 million because BHP Billiton is objecting to the marina development at the spoil bank. The fact is, if the Cook Point Marina Precinct proposal is presented to the state government as a new location, we will lose our current funding and the whole funding process starts again. If the Cook Point Marina Precinct proposal is presented to the state government as a new location, will we lose our current funding?
If the decision is taken to move it to Cook Point, I think it's really starting again. It's a completely different project, a completely different location. It will have different requirements around it, different funding sources, and so that really is back to the drawing.
With what you have just been told, the question that remains is why a feasibility study that is costing close to $1 million? This is a stalling tactic to delay the project and further risk the development failing. Brendan, I'm concerned our Port Hedland Marina Precinct will be mothballed.
Well, I think that there is right to be concerned. I think we're at a really critical juncture of the project, and to me the Marina project has sort of moved on and it's now about the development of the spoil bank precinct.
Why are you a member of the Port Hedland Yacht Club, and what attraction does this area have? I can certainly name a few. This is what tourists come to see. BHP is objecting to this marina development because of a dust issue that they have created. This dust issue could be harmful to the residents in the area. So if there's such an issue with dust, what is BHP Billiton doing about its employees that work 12 hours a day on a site with a greater, intense, dusty environment? Are they not concerned about their own people? The Port Authority should be responsible for managing the dust impact from multinationals and not impact on our rights as a community to have infrastructure that we deserve. As the port operations intensifies, so do the number of support vessels. They must be able to utilise a marina within their licensing and survey requirements. The spoil bank precinct allows that. This creates instant income for the marina, does not burden ratepayers, and we get around-the-clock usage and security. Kate, can you briefly explain your experience and rank?
I've been away at sea for nearly 14 years now. I worked up to the position or the rank as captain. After high school, my first job ashore has been here in Port Hedland as a shipping scheduler for the first year, and then my last 18 months in Port Hedland as the Deputy Harbour Master.
In that time at the Port Hedland Port Authority, what has been identified as the biggest threat to the port's operations?
Definitely a critical failure with the vessels themselves, with machinery. For example, a main engine failure or a rudder failure.
With your extensive experience in different ports around the world, would you consider the development of a yacht club at the spoil bank site in Port Hedland a danger or hazard to the port's day-to-day operations?
From my experience developing a marina here, no.
Where should the marina be located?
Well, where is the location right now? Where's all our recreation? It's pretty much where we want it now, at the spoil bank. That's where the yacht club is, that's where the boat ramps are within that facility, and that's where they've always been. So why would you change that?
I've always maintained that the spoil bank is the best place to situate a marina.
Pretty obvious, isn't it, though? Next to the channel in town. I mean, wouldn't that be the most easiest and most obvious place to put it? I mean, it's easy to get to, people can see it, people can use it. It's not rocket science.
It's only once placed for the Marina precinct, and that's the spoil bank where it was originally planned to do. There's no reason at all to change it or for other alternative outlets.
My opinion, it's got to be at the spoil bank.
As well as having a development of the waterfront, you've also got to look at what that does for the community, and the spoil bank to me was about linking the CBD of Port Hedland, old Port Hedland, the Esplanade Hotel, Wedge Street, linking that down past the port, down to the waterfront where the yacht club is now, the redevelopment of the old hospital site into density living and some commercial outcomes. So for me, this is about the creation of a town centre, about the heart of the community, the type of place where the community want to recreate. And I always say to people, the most important thing in regional development is people choosing to come and live in your community. And I keep saying to people, what the government was trying to create in the spoil bank precinct was the place that husband and wife and family came to sit down to make the decision to move their family and their lives to the Pilbara and to Port Hedland.
There's been suggestion the old detention centre site can be utilised in this marina development, but when we have a look straight out from the detention centre, it's just reef. This area cannot be utilised at low tide. Useless. The channel into this location at Cook Point will cost enormous amounts of money to maintain because of the shift in sands. It's clear a marina at Cook Point would undoubtedly be a white elephant. Do you think the town can maintain a channel at this location? The Port Hedland boat ramp is 60 metres long and is maintained by our shire. We cannot use it at low tide because the town cannot afford to maintain it. So how will the town afford to maintain a channel potentially 2 kilometres long at Cook Point? And here we have a 12-foot dinghy trying to get in at low tide. He's having a bit of trouble. Will a marina development at Cook Point benefit the workboats in the harbour?
There'd be no benefit at all to them, Milo, because the workboats are specifically designed for harbour operations, the lines boats in particular for managing the very large lines that the ships have coming in and assisting them with getting them ashore. Those boats can't be modified to be able to go to Cook Point, and their survey requirements limit them to sheltered waters.
The local road network will be inadequate to cope with a marina location here and would have to be upgraded at the cost to the ratepayers. So this is the general area of the proposed new Cook Point marina location. Aerial views speak for themselves. It's a ridiculous idea to have a marina precinct amongst this much reef and sandbars. We've heard so much about turtle nesting areas and how lights impact on their egg laying, but it's okay to stick a development right in the middle of it. What about the reef system that's now regenerating? Anyway, thanks for taking the time to listen to this documentary. I hope it's given you a better understanding of the project and the companies manipulating the growth of our town for their own benefit. In summary, it's clear the only option is the spoil bank because that is where the funding is allocated. Don't forget, the people most in need of the facilities, harbour industries, will be able to use that location. The Cook Point site is not only totally unsuitable, it's irrelevant. Unless BHP fund the whole project and guarantee the channel will be accessible all year round. Currently, with all the job losses, cost cutting and production increases to maintain profits, do you really think BHP Billiton will fund a $200+ million Cook Point Marina project? I doubt that very much. That doesn't stop BHP from putting a report together stating the Cook Point Marina Precinct project ranks higher than a similar development on the spoil bank. That report is propaganda. And I have a copy here. Slowly but surely, our town is being taken over by these companies. It's about time people stand tall and fight the good fight for our future. So for those of you that care about this community as much as I do and don't want to lose to BHP, just because they're afraid of a major class action because of their dust issues, you need to do something about it. Come and see me, call Mayor Kelly Howlett and other councillors and tell them to use our 40 million to start building the marina. Call Brendan Grills and make sure he knows we care. We have a voice and we need to make sure it's heard. We deserve this marina and we deserve the right for a better place to live, for putting up with the dust and the noise that's killing our town.